It's time for another Friday Classic hymn. Although today's one's not really a hymn, it's quite modern. It's not very modern, but it's fairly modern. And it's one of the favorites of the church over the last 50 years or so. I used to sing this song at school, in assemblies. We used to sing this in church. I think we even sang it in Sunday school. It's just one of those very well-known songs around the church, at least where I come from. As the Deer Pants for the Water is such a classic. And I was wondering the history about the song the other day, so I thought, let me look it up and play it for you here as part of this series. What do you know about this song? Is it special to you? Does it have some sort of memory for you? Can you remember playing it or singing it at a particular church? Please share your memories and your comments on the song in the comments below. I'd love to read them. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I've got so much music on here these days, hundreds of videos. Check it out and be blessed. So here goes the history of As the Deer. Martin Nystrom is the man behind this song. Born in 1956 in Seattle, Washington, grew up in a Christian church and graduated from the Oral Roberts University in 1979 with a degree in music education. So he worked as a music teacher and has done a lot of music work in the church over his years in ministry. In fact, he was very influential in Integrity Music publishers who released a whole bunch of things over the years. He was featured as a worship leader on a lot of the stuff that they released. And you can see his albums, you can find them online. Really great stuff. In the US and in Asia, he's still very well known. Traveling around, doing music retreats, teaching, singing. And this song is really his big famous song. He wrote it in 1981. Although it was only published in 1984. So in the summer of 1981, Nystrom was 24 years old. He was teaching music, and for summer decided to travel to Dallas, Texas, because there was a girl there that he was after. The relationship didn't work out, and so he was there and he was depressed. He was really upset, and a friend challenged him to take up a water-only fast. Because of the state that he was in spiritually, he thought maybe this would be a good thing to reconnect him with his God. He decided to take up the challenge, and 19 days into this water-only fast, he was just broken and depressed and still sad about this girl. But he sat down that day and started to play just chords on the piano. But there on a music stand was an open Bible, and it was open on Psalm 42, which says in the Old King James, "As the deer, or as the hart, panteth for the water, so my soul panteth after thee, O Lord." And he just saw that and started to fit those words into the chords he was playing. Before long, he had a verse and a chorus. Now, at first, this was just a personal song, and he wanted to just keep it as his little song. Between him and God, it was a special moment. But when he shared it with a friend, his friend shared it, and the next thing it had sort of gone around, and people really loved it. In fact, before long, it started spreading around the world to various churches. And in fact, in the 1990s, when he traveled to Korea for a worship conference, he witnessed 100,000 Koreans singing this song at this conference. And it just so touched his heart that the song of his had gone so far. It's been translated into various languages. Everybody in the world has done a cover of this song, and it's sung in churches all over the place. But now Nystrom only wrote the first verse and the chorus. And it was the compilers of the Canadian United Churches hymnal who actually got somebody to write some extra verses. So verses 2 and 3, which we so enjoy, weren't actually written by Nystrom. Lydia Peterson wrote those, and they're such a beautiful part of the song for me. They really work well with what the original idea was. The words differ depending on where you sing it, so I'll be interested as we go through it to hear if you know the words a little differently to what I do. Let's take a look at the lyrics together. So verse 1 is, "As the deer pants for the water, so my soul longs after you." Now some people will know it with the more King James language, with the these and the panteths. I wonder if that's how you sing it. I've never sung it like that. I've always sung it with this slightly modernized English. Of course, this comes straight out of Psalm 42, as I told you in the story. And the psalmist is saying, my soul longs so deeply for God. Just as a deer is panting for water, my soul is panting after God. And I wonder if you have that sort of thirst for God, that intensity. Of course, Jesus spoke about how those who drink from the water he gives will never thirst again, and how he is the living water. And so our thirst is quenched only in Jesus. And the truth is, everyone's thirsty for God, even if they don't know it. We all try to quench our thirst, our spiritual thirst, in some way. Some people use success, and some people use relationships and all sorts of things to try and quench that thirst. But in the end, friends, only Christ will be the one who quenches our thirst, and the song reflects that. He goes on to say, "You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship you." That desire of his heart, he realized, could only be fulfilled by God. What's the desire of your heart, I wonder? Is it God alone? Is it relationship with God alone? Or has something else gotten in the way? Do you long to worship him? Do you rush to church on a Sunday so that you can worship him alongside others? Do you open your eyes every morning and long to spend time in worship? Friends, the Christian life is a relationship with Jesus. And not just you and Jesus, but you and your fellow Christians. Long to worship him, because in the end, friends, nothing else will satisfy your heart's desire like a relationship with him. The chorus goes like this: "You alone are my strength and shield. To you alone may my spirit yield." You alone are my strength and shield. Now that comes straight out of the Psalms. Psalm 28 verse 7, "The Lord is my strength and my shield." And these images are used all throughout the Psalms. God is my strength. I'm weak, but my connection with him keeps me strong. He is my shield. There's a lot of attacks in the world. You face a lot of difficulties, but with God, you have a shield that protects you. And him alone, that phrase, "you alone," is important in the song. Nothing else. Don't look to anything else as your strength or as your shield, but only to God. And then that line gets repeated from the first verse: "You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship you." Desire God above all, friends. You'll find happiness and joy only when you seek to satisfy your heart in him. Now, verse 2 was written by Lydia Peterson, and this is what she wrote: "I want you more than gold or silver. Only you can satisfy." So for some people, gold and silver, money, treasures, possessions, are the things that they try to use to satisfy their hearts. And Christians have realized that gold and silver can't satisfy. Only he can satisfy. And so we want him more than we want stuff, more than we want money, more than we want riches. That is the Christian life, and perhaps you need to be reminded of this today. Pursue God more than you pursue gold and silver. He will satisfy in a way that gold and silver simply cannot. You alone are the real joy giver and the apple of my eye. Yes, there is joy that doesn't last, false joy, so to speak, worldly joy that maybe gives you pleasure for a moment but then disappears. But God's joy is joy that lasts. Psalm 16 verse 11 talks about it. David talks about how at God's right hand there is joy forever. And so if you're living connected to God, there is joy there. In fact, the Psalms are full of this type of language of how nothing else can satisfy. And so is God the apple of your eye? Is Jesus the deepest love and greatest desire and greatest joy in your life? Oh, friends, quit searching for satisfaction apart from him, and let your relationship with him be the focal point of your life. That is where you will really find joy. And verse 3 goes on: "You're my friend and you are my brother." Now, some verses or some versions I've seen say, "You're my friend and you are my father." I always sang brother there. Did you sing father? Perhaps I'd love to know if you sing different words to me here. But maybe friend and father makes more sense because they're contrasting. You're my friend, so we've got this intimate friendship with Jesus. Remember, he said, "I no longer call you servants, I call you friends." But then he's also our father. He's also our father. He's the one who cares for us and looks after us as a father does. And he's also a brother. If you sing that, then you know that he's also your brother in a very special way. He is the only begotten son, but we are the adopted children of God, brought into his family by grace. And we can know him as our great big brother in a way, I suppose. But even so, he's a king. And so we have this intimacy with him, but he's also the king that we revere, that we respect, that we love, that we worship. And so do you know him as Father, friend, king. He is all these things, and that's why he can satisfy our hearts, because he can be everything to us when we need. Whichever one we need, he is that to us at that moment. And so the last two lines say, I love you more than any other, so much more than anything. The greatest commandment is to love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. And so this is a wonderful opportunity to sing that and tell God, yes, I love you more than anything. Nothing else compares. How often in the Psalms do we read that nothing compares to this God? Do you love him more than anything? Do you need to spend some time in prayer today, getting your priorities back up, getting him back up to the top, and putting the other stuff back down under him where it belongs? He alone should be these things to us, my friends. This is just a beautiful song. What words speak to you, I wonder, as you sing this song? Does this particular line really resonate with you? I love the line about him being a joy giver, the real joy giver, because so often I forget that only in him can I find my joy, and that needs to be the focus of my everyday life. And I realized that as I went through this today. How did God speak to you in the words? Share it below, and we'll sing the song together now. But first, just a big thank you to those who support my work, those of you who support me on Patreon, thank you so much, or who make donations on PayPal. I'm so grateful. I am at my church pastoring most of the time, but I spend one day a week here doing this, doing my daily devotions, which I hope you'll check out, audio devotions, and doing my encounter sessions for Sunday nights. So thank you for supporting me so that I can spend the time doing this. I deeply appreciate it. Come, let's sing the song together. As the deer pants for the water, so my soul longs after you. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship you. You alone are my strength and shield. To you alone may my spirit yield. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship you. I want you more than gold or silver, only you can satisfy. You alone are the real joy giver and the apple of my eye. You alone are my strength and shield. To you alone may my spirit yield. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship you. You're my friend, and you are my brother, even though you are a king. I love you more than any other, so much more than anything. You alone are my strength You